Hi YouTube! So today my tutorial is going to be about retouching eyes in Photoshop, and only a slight retouch. And most of my retouches are very extreme. They're like a total color change to purple, and they're very intense, very bright eyes. And they're going to be eyes that are at an angle, with one of the eyes kind of actually blurred out, like a very close up of the face. And most of the tutorials I see with eye looks like this. It's straight on, it's right in your face. That's very easy to change. Something a little more challenging is when you have one of the eyes that's actually not even in focus. So, to start out, I'm going to duplicate this layer and cover up my last layer. I'm going to duplicate it again, set the entire layer to soft light, and then go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and just, I have to find the eye. There it is. Blur it just a little bit, just to add a glow, and then drop the opacity down, just a bit. What this is doing is creating some depth. Now I'm going to right-click, Layer Properties here, and then merge down. And here's the difference. It's very a faint difference, but it just adds a little depth. Now what I'm going to do here is grab the dodge tool and zoom in. And actually, instead of doing the entire thing with a large brush like I normally would tell you to, I'm going to say find each of the highlights in the eye and just touch up the lighter parts. Be very careful around the lens glare here, or not lens glare, but the reflection. You don't want it to look like a big blurry mess. Okay, and now that that's done, you're going to go over to the out of focus eye, and it doesn't seem to actually need any lightening done. Now, however, if yours does need it done, you're just barely gonna tap, just barely in these areas. You don't need to do a whole lot with the out of focus one. Now grab the burn tool, about the same size brush. There we go. It was 100. Okay. Alright, and zoom back in on that eye. And do the same thing with the dark areas. Don't actually drag the brush like this. Undo. Okay. What you're gonna do is just barely click. Just in a couple of areas. Okay. And you're gonna drag over to the out of focus eye. Oh my goodness. Sorry. And do the same thing, only you're probably going to drag it a little bit more. And actually lighten up, or darken up, the outer area of the eye here. Try to stay inside the eye. Okay. Oh. Sorry, I dragged the entire image off the canvas when I was trying to move over. That's what happened. Okay. Now, this should actually be enough, but it's never enough for me. So I'm going to go to New Layer. I'm going to zoom in on this eye. And because the eye is green at a distance, and if you notice that green eyes aren't actually green, or at least mine aren't, they're actually blue with flecks of yellow in them. And that actually, from a distance, blends together and changes the entire color of the eye. So what I'm going to do is grab some yellow and a small brush. That's black. That's not yellow. Sorry. There we go. And add a few little layers in here. And then I'm going to grab the smudge tool and just kind of blend those together. Now notice that inside the pupil here, I'm not really keeping it all that tidy. That's because here in just a moment, I'm actually going to blur that out. And the same here with the, not blur it out, I'm going to delete it. And same here with around the eyelashes. Okay, I'm going to grab my eraser and clean that up. Now you'll notice with the eraser, it's actually a very soft brush. I use soft brushes because I can keep it at 100% opacity, and the edges of the brush are still kind of faded. And just straighten everything up just a little bit. What I'm going to do here is set that to soft light. I'm sorry, overlay. Oh, don't listen to me. I'm going to set it to overlay. And zoom out. Alright, and then I'm actually going to take everything I did and just kind of destroy it. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And set it until the eye itself almost changes color. Okay. And there's the difference. Like I said, I'm doing very subtle changes today. You don't want it to look so unrealistic. Like my vampire eyes. It's actually very relatively simple to keep these. Just a minor touch up. Now for this blurry eye over here, what I'm gonna do is create a new layer. Grab that yellow brush. Sorry. Grab the yellow brush. And I'm actually totally just gonna make a couple little squigglies. Yes, squigglies. Regular old random squigglies. And then blur, Gaussian blur. Make it quite a bit. Not that much. There we go. And the eraser tool. And take away some of the edges of these. Just kind of fade them out. There's probably actually a tool for doing this, but I just prefer to do it this way. I like the control. And then Gaussian blur one more time. And then set it to soft light. That's what happened earlier, was you're actually going to set this one to soft light and this one to overlay. Okay. And here you go. That is a very simple retouch. Actually, before I'm done, I noticed that this one's a little bright for the yellow in it. I'm actually going to drop that layer down a little bit, the opacity of it, just so that it's barely a color change. Okay. And here is your before picture and after. Alright, thank you for watching my video. If you liked this tutorial, please like and subscribe and leave a message in the comments. If you want to see some more of my work or read up on my blog, go ahead and go visit me at emzilla.com. That is emzilla.com. Thank you so much for putting up with me and watching my content. I hope you have a wonderful day.